Hello everyone, my name is Andrew and I am doing a market analysis on the southern part of the European Union. The southern part of the European Union includes Greece, Italy, France, and Spain. Economic health for the European Union. Gross national income, also known as GNI. GNI is based on per capita. So in 2016, as you can see, GNI for Greece, France, Italy, and Spain was 26,900, 42,130, 38,430, 36,450 respectively. On the right, you can see the levels of income for the world for gross national income. As you can see, these four countries pretty much are in the high income gross national income average. Economic health, average household income. According to the OECD website, the world average household income is $30,563. Greece stands at $17,002, France $31,137, Italy $26,063, Spain $23,129, all for average household incomes. So as you can see on the average household income side, they are all a little below the average world household income, except France. Economic health, income distribution. Income distribution is basically, is the economy more favored towards the rich or towards the poor? So as you can see on the left, the income distributions are as follows. Greece 6.35, France 4.47, Italy 5.91, Spain 6.61. So what do these numbers mean? Well, the higher the score, the more inequality between the status of rich to poor. A score equal to 1 means that there are equal conditions regardless of social or economic status. So if you're under 1, it's more geared towards the poor. If you're over 1, which these countries are, it's more geared towards the rich. So as you can see, the lowest score being 4.47 is really high. So it sways more towards the rich by a lot. Economic health, general state of the economy. So for Greece, Greece performs well in only a few measures of well-being relative to most other countries in the Better Life Index provided by the OECD website. Greece ranks above the average in health status, but below average in income and wealth, civic engagement, housing, environmental quality, subjective well-being, social connections, work-life balance, personal security, education and skills, and jobs and earnings. In terms of employment, about 52% of people aged 15 to 64 in Greece have a paid job, below the OECD employment average of 67%. Some 61% of men are in paid work compared with 43% of women. Some 7% of employees work very long hours, less than the OECD average of 13%, with 10% of men working very long hours compared with 4% of women. France. France performs well in many measures of well-being relative to most other countries in the Better Life Index. France ranks above the average in income and wealth, housing, health status, civic engagement, work-life balance, and personal security. It ranks below average in subjective well-being, environmental quality, social connections, education and skills, and jobs and earnings. In terms of employment, about 65% of people aged 15 to 64 in France have a paid job, below the OECD employment average of 67%. Some 68% of men are in paid work, compared with 61% of women. Almost 8% of employees work very long hours, less than the OECD average of 13%, with 11% of men working very long hours compared with 5% of women. Italy. Italy performs well in few measures of well-being in the Better Life Index. Italy ranks above the average in income and wealth, work-life balance, social connections, and health status, but below average in civic engagement, housing, subjective well-being, environmental quality, jobs and earnings, personal security, and education and skills. In terms of employment, 57% of people aged 15 to 64 in Italy have a paid job, but below the OECD employment average of 67%. Some 66% of men are in paid work, compared with 48% of women. In Italy, almost 4% of employees work very long hours, less than the OECD average of 13%, with 5% of men working very long hours compared with just 4% of women. Spain performs well in few measures of well-being relative to most other countries in the Better Life Index. Spain ranks above the average in work-life balance, housing, health status, social connections, and personal security, but below average in income and wealth, civic engagement, environmental quality, education and skills, jobs and earnings, and subjective well-being. In terms of employment, around 60% of people aged 15 to 64 in Spain have a paid job. It is below the OECD employment average of 67%. Some 66% of men are in paid work, compared with 55% of women. In Spain, close to 5% of employees work very long hours, less than the OECD average of 13%. Nearly 7% of men working very long hours compared with just 2% of women. So what is the significance of these measures? Well, it shows that all four regions are doing very well compared to the rest of the world. They're not struggling. They have high GNIs, high world average household incomes, and the income distribution favors the rich. So what about the financial health of these countries? Well, first, the currency used in these four countries are the euro. And history shows that the euro has been increasing in value compared to the US dollar. As of February 19, 2018, 1 euro was worth 1.241 United States dollars. In 2015, you can see it was at 1.08, 1 to 1.08 US dollars, and in 2018, it jumped to 1.24 US dollars. So how do aspects of the financial environment in this region affect marketing activities of U.S. firms? First, the household income levels will affect which products will be sold to European countries. It also determines whether firms in the U.S. will promote any products in certain countries, and if a product is expensive, marketing will only be done in countries where the income levels are high. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.